So here's the thing. I don't like getting on my soapbox all that much. I like providing content and good reviews. I like giving you my thoughts on gear or different roadcraft. And I like you to kind of take what you like and leave what you don't. But today I am going to get on my soapbox because I recently read and listened to a couple of statistics that the Queensland Police had released, and I was absolutely devastated and heartbroken by what I heard. To date, in 2021, we've had 22 riders die on the road here. Last year, there was 10 deaths. The year before that, there was 9. And the year before that, there was 11. So up until this year, the death toll, as sad as it is, had stayed around that 10 mark. This year, we've had 22 deaths alone, which to me is insane. They've also reported that 70% of those accidents were caused because of rider error. And this is kind of the point that I want to hit on today, is that when you're out on the road as a motorcyclist, it is absolutely your responsibility for your road position and where you are and the decisions that you're making. And I go a step further as a rider and I make everyone around me my responsibility as well. It doesn't mean that I want to get in that car and operate that vehicle for that driver, but I take responsibility for the fact that they may make a mistake. And so I anticipate almost every possible decision for every single driver around me. And if something happens and someone cuts me off, or someone makes a wrong turn, or gets a little bit too close to me in my lane, then that's my fault. That's my responsibility. And I think this is the very subtle mental shift that good riders make, as opposed to riders that feel that other people should be accountable for their actions, which in most situations people should be. We should be accountable for our actions and the consequences that they have. But unfortunately on the bike, we don't have a second chance a lot of the time. That's why so many of those accidents resulted in deaths. And you don't want to take the risk that that driver who is going to cross that lane is or isn't going to take responsibility for their actions. I would rather take responsibility for what they're doing and adjust my road position or anticipate a mistake and be okay with that than try and prove a point and say, well, it was their fault and they shouldn't have hit me and they shouldn't have crossed into my lane, or they should have looked harder, they should have done a head check. Unfortunately, a lot of the time when drivers make mistakes and a bike's involved, we come off second best. The main point that I want to make is that when you're on the road, you need to think about everything around you, what other drivers are doing, and you need to take responsibility for their behavior and their actions. If you can do that, you're going to position yourself on the road in a more defensive riding position and position in your lane or wherever you are, and you're hopefully going to reduce your chances of having an accident. Same goes with the speed that you're traveling, the distance that you're following. If you're riding in a group, how you're configuring the other bikes around you and how you're riding together as a group. All of these things are so important, and you need to be thinking about them every time you go out and get on the bike. Same with getting on the bike tired or upset, or if you've had a drink or anything. You need to take responsibility for those things, and we all as riders need to make better choices and not blame motorists for the accidents that we get involved in. If you can make that subtle shift mentally when you're on the road, regardless of whether that's right or wrong outside of those two wheels, that's the right mentality to have on the road, because you're going to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have an accident. I'm really keen to hear what you think and if I've gotten my point across well. Hopefully I have. Hopefully I don't sound too preachy, and I'm just really concerned for the amount of people that are dying on bikes on our roads. As always, stay friendly, ride daily, and I'll see you next time.